So guys, this should be the second project on my Porsche 987 after this snorkeling. As you can see, this part over here is really, worn out. Same is going on with the handle, so I just bought some product to try to fix that. So let's see how it goes. So the first thing that I'm gonna try out is removing this part over here. I can see that I can fit my hand in there. Probably I'm guessing that this has some clips or something. Shouldn't be a problem. Yep. Let's see how it goes. Oops, out it goes. So that wasn't that bad. As you can see, it has some clips. Oh well, it came up pretty easy with this tool over here. Just put it through the side and you can see it will come out very easy. What I'm seeing over here is basically what I saw on some of the videos on the internet. This is like a square end rod that it has on the back side, so from what I remember, you should keep putting up and this thing should go out. It's just press fit there. So I'm gonna try to use a little bit more force to take it out, because I don't think there's anything else that is holding it down. Set, just pull it a little harder and you can see it comes off. As you can see over here, there's nothing holding into it, it's just a press fit. So I just pull hard on it and it should come off without any problem. So the first part that I did is I cleaned these parts with water and soap, basically, and the instruction is saying that you should have this part clean and dry before starting with any of these components. So that's what I did. I just took, paper towel and put some water and soap on it and clean it as much as I could, and that's it. For the second part of the project, I put some tape around this area over here before applying this press top prep cleaning, just to make sure that it doesn't get damaged or anything. And I'm just gonna go through it and try to clean it with it and let it dry based on the instruction that is on the label. The two pieces has dried completely. I was wondering if I should use some sandpaper on some areas. The truth is that it is not really that bad. This one over here is actually pretty good. It doesn't have any color on these areas, but if you touch it, you will see that it is smooth. So I don't think I will do any sanding on this one. But there are some areas on this one that may need a little bit, actually very small amount of sanding, like that over there, but actually it's not that bad. What I'm planning to do is use probably like a 500 and just go through it. I did some sanding on some areas. I still like to have the wrinkles, normal wrinkles from the leather itself, so I just went smooth to some of the area that I felt wasn't smooth enough, very lightly, and it works pretty good. So right now you can see on this area right here I did a little sanding just to have a little smoother surface on some areas, but very tiny spot. I don't really sand the whole piece or anything like that. Since I decided to sand a little bit some of the areas, I will use again this cleaning Presto Prep because I think it's important before doing the dye, so that the color will stick into the piece for longer. So that's what I'm trying. I will clean it a little bit, very lightly, very quickly, again, and let it dry, just to make sure that I don't have any problems in the future. My parts are dry. I'm taking the color flex over here. It says that you should do it at least for a minute. Uh, One important thing to remember is that on this piece it's not that bad because it has some tabs on the bottom, so you can place it like that when it is drying. But for this one, you'll need to find somewhere that you can place this. So just think ahead of where you want to place this part for drying, because you don't want any of this area touching anything. So it has to be like a rod or something like that, that you can just put it there just to make sure that you let it dry. uh, I believe they say that this completely cures in 24 hours. uh, you don't have to wait that long based on what I have read before to use it, but I would do it anyway just to make sure that it's completely pure. I'm hoping you can see something from there. Just try to place my camera in a position that you can see what I'm doing. Let's take this out. And I would just use the sponge and put some little bit of it there and start swiping. On this one I can put it down more easily, so I'm gonna use this whole just put a little bit more there, just like that, because I saw a point there that I wanted to cover, but everything else looks pretty good. I'm back at the process. These pieces have been drying out probably like for 6 hours. I don't think that you really have to wait for that long. But I'm gonna be a little more generous on the second coating. The first one I try to be light on it just to make sure that the color flex will stick into the parts. One thing that I like though, that I wanted to mention, is that if you remember when I started doing it, I was just going through the part like this, and you can really see the strikes of that movement. It really dried really nice. You have a very uh, nice finish to it. So even when you are moving the sponge in a single sweep, you won't see the lines at the end of the day after it is dry. And I like that because you can see that it looks really, really nice. Now let it dry for a while again and see how it works. pieces are completely dry now. I left them through the night. I know that they say that it cures in 24 hours, but I don't see any harm on it. Probably has passed like 12 hours. Uh, so I'm gonna fit them in and see how it looks. Guys, what I did to put this black piece back in there is that I remove this top piece that was in there, and because I believe it's gonna be much easier if you put that tab there, because you have to make sure that the leather, that tab is inside the leather through this side, and after that you make sure that you are covering the leather with it, then you can push this pin in and then it will be in position. Just make sure that it has a notch on it that is on the right direction, because you have to match the direction of the shift there. So I just found out something after putting this in. If you try to press this in after putting that bolt in, you may have some issues. The reason is that if you look closely in there, there are two little tabs on the side. I don't see if you can see that, and those little tabs engage into this piece over here, so there will be no space between the bottom of the knob here and this part over here. So what you have to do is you're gonna have to align these little gaps that you have there, and engage that first there and then twist, and that will engage those two parts. So you have to press this one against that part, making sure that it is on the correct position, and then you will do a little twist and you will see that it will engage, and then you won't see no space here, and then you can assemble the whole thing on top of the shift lever. I ended up using a plier to hold this piece over here while turning the top knob to engage it. So I think that will be easier. There's two flat surfaces there that you can engage to without any problem, but by hand I was just unable to hold this piece there and twist on the top, but with the plier it works okay. So everything is aligned now. Just gonna put it in. I will slide the whole thing in into the knob, and the easiest way to do this on the boot is to engage the back side first, then you will press on the front and you will engage those tabs there, and I would after that push on this guy to engage it to the rod. And now for the final detail is this piece over here. Just snaps in there, and it looks really nice. I'm impressed with the color.